dupreeh is going to get flashed into the angle almost perfect, leaves his opponent blind, but he doesn't get a kill for his troubles.
No opening pick, no opening casualties on either team, and now they decide to go all in. 40 seconds to spare. Damage just being chipped away. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, but nobody has dropped just yet. Now maden opens his account, breaking the deadlock, and a flurry of Danish kills come into fruition. Zipex with 2. STYKO's all that remains. Nice headshot at range, but no Molotov to deal with the defusal. He has to come out swinging with some Glock headshots. Does connect onto dupreeh, but at that range, the USP will shine brighter. Astralis, successful retake.
The worry for me when I look at this GODSENT roster is almost the opposite of Emmy's problems previously.
Mold that team and start to get some cohesion and effect. You'll also find, as a byproduct, your own stats will also improve.
Exactly.
It has a knock-on effect for sure. It's this tandem that you see so often in CS Glaive. Speaking of Emmy, has taken his head and collected it at great cost to his own HP, though, down to 8, but he won't be pressured from main. More of the CTs are there, laid in wait. Quick rotation over onto the A side. Astralis typically so fast to react and rotate accordingly. Such a good read of the game. And GODSENT, it seems like they've been paralyzed for the time being, mainly off the back of utility. There's 30 seconds to go. They've got to make moves, and they've barely got any real estate.
Farlig's going to start things off well. Glaive's still in position, but he's desperately low. However, he springs into action at the perfect time, and dupreeh and Magisk will combine to give them
players over here. But in amongst all of this, GODSENT have not budged an inch. They're staying in position. They are playing the mind games with Astralis, and now they can push across to the site. Device is getting aggressive again. He may get the drop onto Zen, but in the post-plant, Zen has no reason to peek. He can play the close angle. He can force Device into an awkward position, and even though Device is struck once, does he expect Zen to be on the close angle? Hell no. Zen comes out with his Tech-9 and dispatches Device 2-on-2. They know roughly where maden is. He's already struck once in this round, and so they've got their crosshair across to the position, but all of the pressure has now got to go across to Astralis. They have to retake the site. Zen misses out his shot with the AWP, comes out into the open, sideswipes onto Zipex, and now it falls upon dupreeh, who gets caught in trouble.
got the opening pick in the round. Like, maybe in-game leading wasn't for him after all. He's meant to be the star. Device, however, might have a few questions and queries about that one. He may have failed to get the #1 player in the world a few times, but there's no doubt that he is.
And maybe this is where the point that you raised, Tom, about Emmy coming into the forefront, not blaming him at all. He hasn't had enough time to gel with the team. Hasn't had enough time to go through all of their set plays, their plan Bs, their plan Cs, and it seems like they've run out of ideas, ran out of steam. And now they're being vented off by Astralis. 30 seconds. All 5 players remain on the Danish squad, and only Zen against them, but not for much longer. Astralis ending the half, and then they'll go all out. Aggression. Let the grenades and bullets fly. Zen flashed at the back of the site, looking to relocate. If he can get a couple kills, that would be massive for his teammates. It's unlikely he will survive for much longer, but he comes out with that flashbang, takes down Magisk, puts it into a 3v5, and has also stalled the bomb plant. Then it goes back in for even more damage. But in the blink of an eye, Glaive and Device tag team each other in for 3 of their own kills. And with 35 seconds to go, it is a 2-on-2, albeit with Glaive on low HP, and a flank coming into effect, and it's STYKO that's now shown his hand. A low health Glaive on 12. Has to try and repel the onslaught from 2 separate angles, but he has the perfect read of the situation. He's done the calculations. He's typed them in. Does he have the correct answer? Hiding on the ladder. 50% of the fuse is ticked away. Molly tossed in to try and draw out one of these angles, and Glaive has snaked his way to the top of the train. There's one spray in, but STYKO will go for the wild panic spray and take him out. GODSENT just about hold on and done.
Oh, it's a bit rough from Emmy. Takes a little bit longer than he probably would have liked. They've got STYKO actually now. Secondary ult because of the HP. A few tagged players for the side of GODSENT, which definitely give the opportunities. But again, the time starts to get low, Vince. It's 30 seconds. And the last time they relied very heavily on Glaive getting them an opener. I'm not so sure they can rely on that every single round. 20 seconds is all they have left. They're setting up their grenades as they go for the push. It's a missed shot from STYKO, though. That could be enough as dupreeh now runs in. Emmy just trying to survive on the site. He knows if he can drop the bomb, that'll be enough to win them the round. Just 10 seconds left. Farlig's dropped another. They hear the bomb being planted, but they're patient. They're waiting. It's all falling apart for Astralis, and GODSENT have done it. They have taken the map pick of train. Not something I necessarily expected to happen. I'm not even sure it's something I wanted to happen for the integrity of this tournament, knowing that Astralis are one of the favorites. But the fact is, GODSENT have already come here and surprised us. For Astralis was 16-5. So let's not sit here and say that we doubt them completely. This is definitely a map they can play and can win. It's just versus the top teams in the world, they've had some struggles. The question will be, can GODSENT recreate some of the magic that they've already thrown out? And they might be in for a nasty surprise because it's a fast push. Hugging the close wall has given a lot of space to Astralis and already given them the opener.
Yeah, the opening pick is good, and STYKO and Zen have both been obliterated down to around the 10 HP mark. maden at least getting one. He had a lot of success in the pistols on train, but his days are numbered, as are GODSENT's, it would seem. Looking to boost up, do get a bit of success, but the smoke is still in play, and Device keeps just putting these speculative shots through there, anticipating that he's about to get peeked, which is the correct assumption. But dupreeh is the player that is making all the shots stick, all the shots land, and Device closes. This round again is falling into Astralis's hands, and comfortably so. But to go back to that point, I wonder if it's more based on positioning, Tom. If Glaive just prefers to play around the Pop Dog area, and it just so happened that they were deciding to go more aggressive on Pop Dog and B as opposed to wherever dupreeh was playing.
That is very possible, especially with the rounds that we've actually seen them sort of switch it up so far in Dust 2. A lot of the time on Dust 2, it's more spawn dependent. Who's going to be going for those early picks? As said, we saw with dupreeh, that AWP pick that he went for was solely based on him having the best spawn. I don't think he's planning on taking that primary AWP back off Device anytime soon. This is starting to become a running theme now for GODSENT, though. They had a very good first map. Their choice, successful. They look great on trade, but again, we gave them the luxury of, well, not both pistols, but a second round and a pistol, which is basically the same thing in terms of follow-up rounds. And then they just had a very, very stellar CT side. At the moment, they're struggling. Emmy with the AWP. He had some success previously. And okay, he's going to drop a couple of players, but it really doesn't matter too much at this point, Vince.
No, not at all. It's a case where
to actually get the first AWP kill of the round. Maybe not expected with the men holding them on the other side, but it's one that will be welcomed for GODSENT.
bit of reprieve from all the aggression the Astralis have been putting down range. STYKO with the AWP strikes for a second time. The Astralis have the bomb under wraps from Zipex, but he is isolated from his teammates, and there's a molly down on lower tunnels, which keeps Magisk at bay. maden peeks a little bit too preemptively before the smoke has a chance to fully plume, but Zen is there on spot to deliver the fatal shot to dupreeh. Surely, Tom, GODSENT about to pick up a third before this half ends.
You'd hope. The two players alive are the two players that have been in clutch situations many times before. The incendiary will hold them back, and actually the full force of GODSENT is starting to converge on this B site. They've been locked into the tunnels. You can see that STYKO's in a good position, and Emmy, a bit of a risk, but he still just patiently waits for the remaining players. No, he has support, and Zen is already going to put one of them in the grave. Magisk.
Does seem like fumes are all that they have left. dupreeh, though, and Glaive, both wide swinging middle, get punished. Lives are deemed forfeit. Magisk up on the window also could have some help from Device, who is on the other side of the smoke, waiting to pierce through there and show his hand, but a Molotov there to greet him. It's well placed. And now GODSENT changing up their angles. They're going into tunnel. What could be the final play of the map. We'll see Magisk trade out 1-for-1.
Nice. He's going to find him through the smoke. It's gone from bad to worse, and now STYKO's left in a clutch situation once again. He's going to take a risk, or so it seemed. A little bit worried that there might be both players around this angle. He knows he needs to try and turn this into a 1v1, but I don't think he's going to be given the chance. Zipex is waiting back. He should know now that both players are going to be around this angle, trying to bait them in, but there's plenty of time. And for Astralis, they almost want to know that he's stuck towards this site. The plant coming through. Device even baits him with the footsteps. He's just playing with his opponent here. STYKO trying to mind game Device, but it's just not working. And eventually Device will kill him through the door. An absolute brutal devastation of GODSENT when it came down to the map of Dust 2 as they come back in stronger than before and win 16-4, Vince. I thought that this one might go in their favor, but dear Lord, I thought it would at least be close.
Yard for GODSENT, but maybe it will be the second time that they surprise us, they shock us, and I would love to see that be the case. I really want to see these guys do well, and I'm looking forward to what the future will hold from them. But for now, they start on the CT side of the map, so Astralis will be quick to fire some frags down. Device and Zipex both connecting with their Glocks. Now Emmy at range will be trying to tee off on any of the oncoming aggressors. He has to play a different angle, goes back against the wall, and Magisk kills him where he stands. 3 kills unanswered before farlig shows his hand up on top of Heaven, and he falls to his death, leaving it all on Zen. But if he's not killed by the Heaven players, he's getting wrapped on by Zipex. Down he goes, and Astralis claim first blood again.
Yeah, a strong start to them, and that's been one of the... But he loses the fight to Device, and his aggression is punished. The man advantage gained by farlig is quickly gone.
Yeah, after getting the opening pick outside for farlig, he had another shot around red containers, missed out, and Glaive punished him alongside Device. Another one of those rounds that was incredibly close to falling in GODSENT's favor, and it may still yet. They still have 3 players, and they decide to push together as a united force. They're all coming up through secret, trying to get around the back of the team. The spray is good. It yields the kill to maden, and there's Emmy picking up the slack onto Glaive, who clearly did not anticipate 2 players to face off against him at the same time. And the bomb's also been dropped down. Someone from Astralis has to go pick that up with 30 seconds to spare, and they find themselves a player behind. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe this still will go the way of Astralis. Or maybe dupreeh pulls this out the fire. Device switches weapons at the worst possible moment. And that will cost him, and that will cost Astralis. GODSENT will hit 4 after all.
That was a fantastic mid-round call from Emmy. I can only assume that was off the back of his decision, and they just group up together and look to retake outside as a unit. That's not something you see too often already, though. These have opted to try and rotate back, make a move in another direction. However, farlig's actually taken an aggressive stance further forward, and gotta be careful because Zipex is waiting. He's patient. It seems like maden might look to try and join his teammate, but farlig expects Zipex to be here. It doesn't mean he gets the kill. And in the meantime, dupreeh takes a further push around. It's a lot of map control game, but I guess you could say for either side. STYKO finds another pick. Magisk tries to push into position, eventually gets rid of him after the double on opposite sides of the map. However, again, control's been taken, but the Danish Battle of Orpers is won by the side of farlig this time. The trade comes back, but farlig going strong, and it's left all onto Magisk. A 1v3 situation, looking to try and clutch this out. The first shot's not connected, and that might be his doom. He nails the shot, but actually, it's that flashbang thrown that leaves him completely blind. We will get a 6-6 situation, an even scoreline for GODSENT, and they are starting to grind.
You could maybe cheekily go for a full buy down on the plant. Although Device is up in Heaven, he didn't actually go to wide swing and peek in. So Zen has a chance now. He's not just got the plant, but he's managed to scurry away from the bomb. He's about to get pushed, though, from multiple angles. Before he gets tested, there's the first headshot. 3 kills on the board already. He picks up a 4th, spins back around, and it's so close. Zipex takes him down, but it's at such great cost that Zen, even though he loses the round, Tom, that will feel like a bit of a victory. Because if they now come through and win, Astralis' money is in the dumps.
A lot of their success. Here comes this execution again, though. This time, though, it's Magisk. dupreeh helping along the way. There's going to be a trade eventually, but it's too little too late. farlig, 1v3 situation. Vince, he does, however, have the bomb.
He does have the bomb. He has time as well. And he could go where Zen has gone before and hurt the economy, but Glaive does not allow it to take shape. Now, one of the key misses for Astralis, and that will cost them the B site.
dupreeh, the nade is going to do some extra damage. He actually denies the plant, and Device has caught another one. It might not be over just yet. It was looking like a good stance here for the side of GODSENT, but it's starting to slip a little bit, especially with Emmy. 9 HP after the initial duel he took with Glaive. Not much utility remaining, though, for the final players. Currently sit within the server. Farlig with a single HE. This angle normally pretty good, but taking so many angles at once could be tough. Farlig actually removes one of them. He gets them a little bit more control and sets them up for the 3v3.
GODSENT brought back down to 2. Time ticking away, but STYKO comes out with 1, and there's Farlig. It's down to Glaive. He's been tagged down to 35, and that's gonna be it. The upset is here. GODSENT take down Astralis. Can you believe it?
Oh, the smiles on their faces, I'm sure. Another shock to anybody at the moment. Emmy has come in, and with one best of 3 as practice, he takes down Astralis.